it's been a minute since we recorded. Welcome back to the Tita Talks podcast. I'm your host, Daaca. And yeah, it's been a minute since we recorded. The last episode we put out was a pre-recorded episode from 2022. And yeah, in this episode, I'm going to get into the reasons why I just did not feel called to record last month, but really happy that you're tuning in now, and maybe you tuned in then as well. Today's episode, I have so many things on my mind, which is like, okay, Kat just all the time has things on her mind. Just big yapper. She's a big yapper. Probs why the podcast feels so necessary to channel that somewhere. But today's episode, what I'm feeling called to share, and what I want to title this episode before I even start talking is Instagram is not real life. And I'm going to get, obviously, into more detail around that, but that is really the burning message I'm feeling called to share, is just like a reminder that Instagram is not real life. And, you know, it's so funny for me to just sit here and say that when I'm actually the one who needs to hear this the most. So, if you want to stick around for the ride, that's cool. But that's what we're talking about today. Instagram is not real life. And where this is coming from, I have been somewhat active on Instagram this week, and I've had a couple people DM me and say like, oh, you just like seem to be doing really well. And this is like after I had kind of vulnerably shared that I wasn't doing so hot, and people were like, oh, you hide it really well. And I just think like I want to be a better proponent of, being more vulnerable and being more honest on like places like Instagram, places like this podcast. But the part that's difficult for me about that is like, I want to be an open book. I want to share all of these things. But the last thing I want to do when I'm feeling horrible about myself, about the state of the world, is like pick up my phone and make content, or, set up the mic and record a podcast episode. So I always try to share these things in retrospect after the fact, but I do try to be honest about the times where like, I really wasn't doing so hot. So yeah, today what I want to talk about is like the last 6 weeks and how just like all these different transitions have been happening in my life, and that I've felt a little bit disconnected to myself, disconnected to purpose, and just like feeling generally discombobulated. So I want to zone in a little bit on the last 6-8 weeks or so that I've had, just like paint a picture of how I got to today and my current thought around Instagram is not real life. Like I really needed that reminder. So rewinding a little bit, earlier this year, spent 3 months in Tulum after getting laid off from my job, and was like very intentional about having stillness and time to myself, and just like really leaning into unemployment by pouring into myself, reading books. I joined a book club. I picked up art again. I just devoured so many audiobooks that just like tickled my brain. Honestly, like there are some things in my brain, like, the whole like neural pathway thing. Like I actually do think I've formed different neural pathways around certain things, and maybe I'll share my book list with y'all at a different time. But I really just invested in myself. Like it just felt like a real investment in myself. I started building good hobbies, eating well, going to the gym regularly, and like from that time to today, I feel like I've set really good habits in place, and they're sticking. Like 6 weeks later, after that 3-month stint, like I'm still going to the gym. I'm still, doing grocery and eating well. But it has been a little bit of a rocky transition coming out of this like very intentional and like dreamy still time. Like I can look back at my time in Tulum and really romanticize it. I have a lot of like warm, fuzzy feelings about the way that I spent my time, and it's kind of exactly how I wanted to spend my time. Mind you, like obviously it wasn't perfect. I had moments of doubt. I had moments of like, productivity guilt, those things, but I felt like I did a very good job of keeping that in check and being mindful of it. Like I'm aware that it's there, but I'm not letting it consume me or like overwhelm all of my thoughts. So something that I had shared on the Tita Talks, I guess on Instagram, on Hot Takes. So if you're not familiar, Hot Takes is a community space we run every Tuesday on Instagram. And the premise is I'll share a "we're not really strangers" style card, and then everyone responds and I share the answers. And a lot of really beautiful things have come out of that. I feel like there's a lot of folks who have reached out to say that, they feel brighter or lighter participating and following along. And I know that there's something really special there. So I'm going to keep doing it for as long as I can hold space for it. But something that I had shared in kind of the preamble to one of the hot takes that we had on Tuesday is that at that time we were transitioning out of Tulum. Again, this like very still 3 months. I didn't go out too much, like really went out like 3 times in 3 months. Wasn't spending, I didn't feel the pressure of having to consume or like look a certain way, or I was like really removed from a lot of like societal pressures that I feel are placed on me when I'm in a bigger city, right? Like it's really easy to compare myself when I'm out and about and like around people, or like, I love my friends to death, but then I also do feel this like pressure to be available for people socially. And the physical distance made it easy for me to be sheltered from all of that. And, you know, I'll be honest, like Tulum as a tourist destination is not really my vibe. Like it's like the people who are there like trying to party and whatever. And like that was just not the vibe at all. So anyway, here's me having this like really still intentional time investing in myself. And then at some point, I have to prepare myself for that to end. Like naturally, it has to end. And, there's a lot of pieces of that I was very mindful of, like, okay, this is what I want to continue when I'm out of here. But I had a hard time transitioning out of that still period into the busy city of Mexico City and of New York, where I am now. And I don't know that I was fully prepared to, like, quote unquote return to civilization. Like, I am not in a soundproof place to record, so like you can hear the sirens outside. Like it's busy, it's loud, people are outside. Like, oh, it's real loud, it's real loud. It's like that. See, like ancestor was like, oh yeah, let me help with the dramatic background noises for your pod right now. But yeah, that's like where we came from. It was like this really quiet still place into like the busy loud atmosphere that was both Mexico City and now today New York. And I just felt myself, I can't even explain like what happened, but I felt like when I got there was this immediate energy of like, oh, I'm actually very excited to be here. And I think that like something's gonna pop off here. Mexico City was one of those places where I landed, and vibrationally, like energetically, I felt like, oh, I'm meant to be here. And I still feel that way about Mexico City. But as the weeks went on, I felt disconnected from my practices. And the transition was difficult. What I think made, like, this is my own manufactured suffering, but what I think made that transition difficult is that now in my mind, the 3 months of being unemployed and like, here's me saying to myself, I'm going to do all these things, invest in myself, blah, 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 they're over now. It's over. So now what? I think I was like not prepared for the now what. Like, oh, okay, I guess I better produce. Now I'm in this busy city and I need to do this. And there are friends here and I want to like socialize and do this. But I just wasn't there. I was having a difficult time striking a balance between like really still craving that stillness and alone solitude quiet time with like a slow transition back. Like it just felt like I got pushed off a cliff. Like it was just so stark, the change in environment, and that felt really like uprooting and hard on the system. And then I felt that way again 4 weeks later when we went to New York, because kind of the same thing. Like, you're just like thrown even more into capitalism. And yeah, I kind of went into this like freeze place where I was kind of just like unsure of what I'm supposed to be doing next. I'm like, okay, these jobs aren't panning out. I'm like, I feel like my wheels are spinning on all the projects I want to do, but then I don't feel excited about them because I'm feeling just like generally down. And, one thing I do like about myself is that I have a really great ability to see the good in things, I think, at least for the most part. But where it is certainly in my detriment is sometimes I like go too far into that and ignore how I might actually be feeling. And I think in the last like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I've just been feeling like something's off, or like, I don't know, like something in my spirit is like something's incorrect. Like I felt disconnected to myself. And if I further diagnose this, if I like sit and seek ancestor guidance on this, I actually do think I have this like, oh man, when I think about like ancestral remembrance, ancestral knowing, sacred rage, like I just feel like there is something inside of me that has this like very deep knowing that capitalism is so unnatural. Like it's not the state we're supposed to be in. And like maybe in Tulum, I'd like return to a more natural state. Like I was in the sun so much, like physically my skin was brown, right? Like I was in a place where I felt like my skin was the tone maybe it's supposed to be. Like, I'm from a hot place. And if I had, stayed in that hot place, if we weren't like uprooted from our natural place, like my skin would probably be darker most of the time. And I truly, this is something I wrote in my journal actually, like when I was in Tulum and like my body was like physically, I feel like returning to, like I could visually see myself returning to what I think is more of a natural state of how I'm supposed to be. I actually just like fell in love with myself. And I don't know if that's like too much. I don't think it's too much, but like I truly was just like, whoa, like it's not even just about like the visual of what I'm seeing. Although the visual helps to kind of cue the other things in, it was like, okay, here's me in this state where it's just like, my hair is long and dark and it's just doing its thing. And my skin is like this color that I feel like it's supposed to be. Like it just feels correct. Like I'm this like golden shade of brown. And like here I am like divesting in capitalism and like nourishing myself. I'm not working in a job, and like I just fell in love with that version of myself. And actually now that I'm speaking this out loud, what I think happened was like, oh, I got pulled out of that. And it was like, where did she go? And how do I invite her in these places that aren't, this not perfect, but this like more ideal scenario of like being in the sun, being sheltered from capitalism, like that kind of thing. And I don't have the answer for that. I truly don't. And I think that's like the point of this. The point of this is like, I don't have this wrapped up in a nice little bow to present to you as like, and here's the lesson learned. It's just like, no, like we're actually just all going through it. And, when I tap back into the purpose of Tita Talks, it's the place where ancestral remembrance intersects storytelling. And I don't actually think that there needs to be perfection in that, but I do hope that like through these stories, through the stories that you will hear when I start bringing guests on, that you will like also see yourself in those stories or learn something new about somebody else or yourself. Like the point is just to like share the stories because they need to be heard. And again, like even though there isn't again like and here's the lesson at the end, it's like, no, I don't know. Do you relate? Do you feel like how do we deal with being outside of our natural state, and how do we invite more of that in? And I do think that like being out in nature is like such an easy one, like fresh air, moving my body, just like exercise and eating a nourishing meal, eating foods from my homeland, like all of those things. Like when I eat a mango, I'm just a happy person. Like every part of my being is a happy person. Like I'm just meant to do that activity. Like I know that that's like a natural thing for me to do. It's the little things like that, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. But yeah, that's like the question that's been sitting on my mind. So with all of that, like that's how I've been feeling. And like I wasn't really able to name it for the last couple of weeks. And like honestly, I've just been kind of mopey and like hard to be around, like just so depressy and like a dull version of myself. And actually another thing that I shared on Hot Takes this week was that I felt like mold. Like I felt like a fuzzy gray version of myself. I felt like, oh, I'm just like sitting still and not in like a sexy way, like the way that I like a dreamy stillness. It was more of like a indecisive and insecure and like just, I was just still because I wasn't feeling anything. And I started to mold over. That's how I felt. I felt moldy. That's the best way I can describe it. So with all that, I like shared that on Insta, and like, you know, people responded like, oh, that's kind of surprising. Like you hold it together so well. Like, how do you do it? And I was just like, I don't know. And I'm not doing it on purpose, but I do think that's like my natural, oh man, like defense to it is like, one, I'm trying to counteract things with like positivity, which is like not always helpful. I need to get better at feeling my feelings. I'm certainly better than I was a couple of years ago because I was very, very good at suppressing my feelings then. I definitely feel them a lot better now, but I wish I could name them in real time a little bit better. I think I need to get one of those like feelings wheels. I almost like don't have the language sometimes to describe how I'm feeling. I just know that I'm feeling something. And yeah, just like giving myself time to tune into it. And then also just being so radically honest. Like I got a new journal. Here's another side story that you didn't ask for. So I got a new journal because I finished my journal. I did a lot of writing in Tulum, which was very nice and like very sludgy writing. And honestly, like I really want to get into the habit of not always writing things that are sad, but like sometimes you just are a sad gal and whatever. So what I do when I get a notebook is like a little ritual. It's like I say thank you to the old notebook, and then I welcome in the new notebook. I write it a letter. I in advance thank it for all of the that it's going to hold and for it being this space for me. And in an attempt to, because I have identified this in me, in an attempt to like be more candid and in tune with my feelings, like I'm just trying to write things as they come up without judgment and without trying to like write it in any kind of poetic way, because the default way that my brain works is like it's pretty sludgy in there. It's pretty sludgy, but like in a cute kind of humorous way. So I'm really kind of inviting that like playful, fun energy that allows me to like write in real time how I'm really feeling and not like try to have it be polished or like there's still weird perfectionism in my journaling. I don't know why, but I think there are some things I'm afraid to even admit to myself. So with this journal, I was like very intentional with like, okay, journal, you and I, like we're really in this now. And like I wrote this letter, and honestly, like I want to read it to you. I'm flipping the page now. I want to read it to you. I'm trying to decide in real time if it's too much. No. I won't share it. But the premise of the letter is just like, you know, new journal. Is it too weird to say that I love you already? Like, just, I love you. And just so you know, I have told other journals in the past that I love them and that I would be honest with them and that I would, you know, treat this as a safe place to explore, but I didn't really mean it then. But not with you, new journal. You're not like those other journals. Like you and I, this is for real, like radical, sludgy honesty. And yeah, it's been really like honestly entertaining. If God forbid anything ever happens to me, you should probably publish this entire thing. It's probably gonna be hilarious. and like really cute and really funny. I'm just kidding. Please never ever publish my journals if something ever happens to me. Ooh, that got really dark and morbid for a second there. So new journal. The point is radical honesty so that I can like talk about my feelings, write about my feelings without judgment. I think that's the part that makes it difficult, is the judgment part, the shame part. I have grown up to feel a lot of shame around my feelings. So yeah, just a reminder that like you might see all of these things happening on the social media where I personally might be like celebrating this thing or doing this thing or like looking cute or whatever, but there's like a lot of things bubbling under the surface at all times. And that's for all of us, right? And I do think a source of some of my misery over the last little bit is like, oh, what's the number one activity I want to do when I feel like I want to rot? Like that's how I felt the last 6 weeks, the mold. Like I just wanted to rot on the couch and not do anything. What's my number one activity? It's doom scroll on Instagram. And honestly, like I am so bad for comparing myself to others. Like, you know, I'm a young woman, so the world wants me to be in competition with other women, period. Like it's how they sell things to us. And I will occasionally like sip that tea and just be like, oh yeah, like I need a bigger ass. I need a whole new wardrobe. Oh my God, is my shoulder chubby? Like all of these just weird manufactured like fears and insecurities. Like I was just like, I was in it. And then I forget that none of this is real. None of this is real. Like it's all made up. It's all made up. And like the person I am on Instagram, as much as I try to be like honest and open and transparent, that is also made up. Like let's not forget, like this is not real life. And like, oh my God, yeah, I get really sucked in sometimes. So again, like the message I want to share, but the message I also need to hear is like it's not real life. And when I like trade that in for the things that I actually want to consume, or like when I become mindful of what I'm ingesting, I just like kind of flip back to this time when I felt in love with myself and felt like a correctness about my body, the way I viewed my body, the way I was like experiencing the world. And like I know that wasn't really a sustainable thing, like to be in this little bubble for as long as I was. But now I have like these reference points for like, okay, what are these little things I can bring into my day? And also this understanding that like that version of me is with me all of the time. And that's like on some ancestor knowledge, right? Like the reason I'm in love with this version of myself is like brown skin, long dark hair, you know, flat nose, whatever. Those are the curves of my ancestors. So like that's with me all of the time. And I think that's like the message also, is like we can tap into that all of the time. So anyways, Instagram's not real life. And that's it. That's me. That's my journey right now. It's kind of a hot mess, but honestly, like again, happy to capture the hot mess as it's happening. Thank you for listening. I am feeling really good about like shaking this energy and like moving it into creation, which is this recording, which is you hearing this recording. So like, thank you for being here. And that's like for me too. Thank me for, I am thanking myself for showing up today. And yeah, just the reminder that like Instagram is not real life, and your life is whatever you want to make it up to be. So if that's helpful at all, cool. Love that for us. And if not, thanks for being here anyways. I think that's also useful information that it's not for you. Anyways, okay. I'll see you at the next episode of Tita Talks. Love y'all.
Heart is racing, pounding really hard for you. And I just wanna let you know, I don't wanna let you go. Oh no, oh no, myself when I felt really scared. Catch me, I'm falling. Can you please answer me back? Promise if I'm gonna wake up today, you will be waiting in my dreams tonight. O diga na may malipit na naman ang sobra. Kinikilig ba habang nakahiga dito sa aking kama? Di makabangon, okay na ko, di ako nagugutom. Kompleto na ang araw ko, basta patunugin mo lang ang aking cellphone. Oo, nananaginip na naman akong gising. Mga mata ay palagi na naman nagdidinig. Parang Korean drama, lagi kitang gusto na makasama. Kasi problema hindi mo alam kung paano ako naluloka. At paano maghirap kapag hindi na kita nahagilap? Para malagi mayroong mabigat na nakapatong sa aking taluka. At Biyernes Santo, ang oras kong 24, na parang baliw na paikot-ikot kada minuto dito sa aking kwarto. Oo, sa panaginip lamang ba ang sagot? Sa panaginip na walang puwang ang konting lungkot. Kaya ngayong gabi hindi na ako mapakali, hindi na ako makaantay na muli kang makatabi. Catch me, I'm falling. Will you be holding my hand when I float in the air? Catch me, I'm falling. But when you that by my sound when I felt really scared. Catch me, I'm falling. Can you please answer me back? Promise if I'm gonna wake up today, you will be waiting in my dreams tonight. Catch me, I'm falling. Will you be holding my hand when I float in the air? Catch me, I'm falling. But when you that by my sound when I felt really scared. Catch me, I'm falling. Can you please answer me back? Promise if I'm gonna wake up today, you will be waiting in my dreams tonight. I don't really even care what they say. Yo, I know what I want and I want it my way. Even if you turn out my days in a gray, I still can't resist to lead you away. Yeah, I know I've been living a lie, and I'm a victim of love and I'm willing to try. Yeah, I know that I'm living a lie, I'm a victim of love, so don't ask me why. Catch me, I'm falling. Will you be holding my hand when I float in the air? Catch me, I'm falling. But when you that by my sound when I felt really scared. Catch me, I'm falling. Can you please answer me back? Promise if I'm gonna wake up today, you will be waiting in my dreams tonight. Yayakapin lamang kita. Kasi yayakapin lamang kita. Kasi yayakapin lamang kita. Kasi yayakapin lamang kita. Kasi yayakapin lamang kita.
Yes, salut à tous, c'est moi, Fanny Christo, et vous écoutez à Radio Kapwa sur 90.3 FM CK UT. Nous sommes le mercredi 29 mai 2024, et maintenant, c'est le temps pour les nouvelles des Philippines. Normally, you'd be hearing John Marvin Reyes right now, but he's on a well-deserved vacation in Barcelona, living the life from what I've been seeing on his IG. So, I'll be filling in for him for the next few episodes as we answer the question, Anong balita sa Pilipinas? Now, this story is about the first black Filipino woman crowned as Miss Universe Philippines. Yes, I'm talking about Chelsea Manalo. Born to a Filipino mother and African-American father, the 24-year-old's win was celebrated on social media as helping to shatter traditional beauty ideals long held in the country. Chelsea's win challenges our ingrained preference for Eurocentric beauty features and lighter complexions in our nation, wrote one user in response to an Instagram post of the win on Miss Universe's Philippines official account. Filipino beauty standards shattered into pieces, read another. Representing Bulacan, a province to the north of Manila, Manalo beat out 52 other contestants from around the archipelago and overseas. The competition was held at the SM Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay. As the competition narrowed down to the top 5 finalists, Manalo was asked on stage how she would use her beauty and confidence to empower others. She said, "As a woman of color, I have always faced challenges in my life. I was told that beauty has standards, actually," adding that she was taught to believe in my mother, to always believe in yourself, and uphold the vows that you have. Because of these, I am already influencing a lot of women who are facing me right now, she said, gazing out to the packed arena. Manalo's win is part of a wider conversation about diversifying notions of beauty in the Philippines, a country where certain Western ideals have long persisted, shaped in part by the country's colonial past. Lighter-skinned actors and models typically star in major TV shows, movies, and fashion campaigns, and as common in other countries, skin lightening treatments and products are pervasive. Manalo, who began modeling at 14, described her own insecurities growing up in a YouTube video on Empire Philippines, which live-streamed the event. I grew up having insecurities as I was always bullied because of my skin and my hair type, she said, crediting her friends and family for helping her realize that I am beautiful in my own extraordinary way. Manalo will represent the Philippines in the Miss Universe pageant to be held in Mexico in September. She is vying to earn the 5th title for the country, following the footsteps of Gloria Diaz in 1969, Margie Moran in 1973, and Pia Wurtzbach in 2015, after host Steve Harvey initially declared the wrong winner. Catriona Gray was the last Filipino to win the title in 2018. Over 100 countries will be represented at Miss Universe 2024. This year will see the competition remove any upper age limit set for its contestants, because previously those competing were required to be between the ages of 18 and 28. The Miss Universe organization has come under much scrutiny in recent weeks as the parent company of the Miss USA organization. Both Miss USA and Miss Teen USA resigned from their roles earlier this May amid allegations of mismanagement, a toxic work environment, and conditions that impacted their mental health. And this article was written by Kathleen Magramo and published on May 24, 2024 on the CNN website. And personally, I got nothing but love for Chelsea and want to extend a congratulations from the RK team as well, because colorism in the Filipinx diaspora has long been an issue, affecting our self-esteem in so many ways. And I could be here for hours just talking about it, so I'll leave it at that for now. With that said, we are going to take a little pause musical, so turn that volume up wherever you at and vibe out to some tunes, and we'll be back in a few with the community announcements.
Yeah, low-key, smoke some good shit. I'm your bad bitch tonight. Sobrang solid, parang langit, so high. You can fuck me all night. Ako na ang maghihimay habang ikaw naghihintay. Yung mga titig pamatay, ang katawan ko bumibigay. Di na makapaghintay, mainit tuyot, daig pa ang galing disyerto. Bigyan kitang tubig ang oras mo sulit, gawin ko lahat ng perpekto. Ayo'y lutang, hayaan mo sa kanali ng katawan ko. Pangmasdan, wala ako naliliwanagan ng buwan. You can fuck me all night. Low-key, smoke some good shit. I'm your bad bitch tonight. Sobrang solid, parang langit, so high. You can fuck me all night. Wag ka na magdadalawang isip pa, baby. Ano ngayon kung malaman na ng iba? Mag-iingay tayo sabay hanggang umaga. Init ko sumasabay sa kanta. Utak natin dalawa na sa ibang planeta. Ayo'y lutang, hayaan mo sa kanali ng katawan ko. Pangmasdan, wala ako naliliwanagan ng buwan. You can fuck me all night. Low-key, smoke some good shit. I'm your bad bitch tonight. Sobrang solid, parang langit, so high. Come on, sisters, let me feel ya. We gon' lock off for so we a powerhouse. Turn us so on while we glowing. And nobody gotta turn this fire down. Show 'em how your body go, oh, 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 go, oh, 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 oh. Show 'em how your body go, oh, 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 go, oh, 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 oh. Oh, señorita, señorita, let me feel ya, let me feel ya. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Señorita, señorita, wanna see ya, wanna see ya. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Hala bayit, cute siya oh, smile sa bao, ay padak, carry rap, flirt gamay, aliba, hang out ta, kitang duha lang sayaw ta, kudo di ay sayang, oy, gwapo unta, maya lang, sangga lang ta, susigan, pariha ta, ilab-ela ba, unsa ni in-in-in, mga kanta, sa dance floor ba, deme ba sila kamusta, give me time and I'll give you mine, baby cuff me up, through at the end of time, bailando solo D.I.T.A, you own it, you the CEO. Oh, señorita, señorita, let me feel ya, let me feel ya. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Señorita, señorita, wanna see ya, wanna see ya. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Show 'em how your body go, oh, 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 go, oh, 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 oh. Show 'em how your body go, oh, 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 go, oh, 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 oh. Oh, señorita, señorita, let me feel ya, let me feel ya. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Señorita, señorita, wanna see ya, wanna see ya. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Oh, yeah. So give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam. Arriba. Si vuole padellare. Give me bam, 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 give me bam, bam, bam.
Hey yo, my name is Nicole. Let me tell you about this place that I call home. Been here since I couldn't even speak. Now I'm all grown, I can name you all the streets. Where I learn to walk, well and to talk. Tell when to school, sang kalaban na yan talk. Dahil sa lamig, gusto na umidlip. Kumutsa ka, una na lang ang nasa isipan. Are you getting cold? Well in done. Show you somewhere para mainit. Done. Bring you to our cottages. Leave all of your baggages and drive you around. Pagka hanggang alas 10, we park and chill. That's always a thrill. Open up the trunk, gin and juice, don't let it spill. Yeah, that's how we be. Hit it in the streets. Here to represent to 600. Let me see now. To all my ladies in the flow. Rock it to the beat real slow. Rock it to the beat one more. Rock it to the beat, let's go. To all my fellas in the flow. Rock it to the beat real slow. Rock it to the beat one more. Rock it to the beat, rock it to the beat. Oh. And you gotta love the breeze. that you wouldn't find in any other shop. And you know I ain't lying if I tell you this one time. BAGUIOI won't replace you for a dime. Yeah, you know I ain't lying. I'ma ask you one more time. BAGUIOI, wanna see those hands up high. So all my ladies in the floor, rock it to the beat real slow. Rock it to the beat one more. Rock it to the beat, let's go. So all my fellas in the floor, rock it to the beat real slow. Rock it to the beat one more. Rock it to the beat, rock it to the beat. Oh, so all my ladies in the floor, rock it to the beat real slow. Rock it to the beat one more. Rock it to the beat, let's go. So all my fellas in the floor, rock it to the beat real slow. Rock it to the beat one more. Rock it to the beat, rock it to the beat. Oh.
Ready? D to the O to the N and the A. N, baby, that's my name. Come on, 50 on the beat, it's real. I can on my own. I can on my own. I can buy my own rollie. You just gotta roll with me. Bang, bang. Katamaan ka magpapadang. Dang. Ako si Donna. Dito kausap tayo, boy. Marunong ka ba mangharana? Di ako nagpapaligaw. Hindi ko kailangan ng mamahaling hikaw. Sa akin lang naman, kailangan ko lang ikaw. Parking kamukha mo when si Iraw. Di mo yata kilala. Ba't sila pumipila? Don't need your wallet. Di magpapabili ng gamit. But I can buy it. Pati yun and 100 more Louis Vuittons. Kaya you don't need to go broke para makipagon. Tabi, ako ay paparada. Tapos bababa ako ng nakaprada. Flaunting, baby. To show all I want from you is to be your baby. Tignan may chikot. At hindi mo malilimot. Mukhang mamahalin na yung mamahalin. Di ko sasabihin, bilhin mo ko nun. Di ko sasabihin, bilhin mo ko yan. Tignan may chikot. At hindi mo malilimot. Lahat na papatingin. Kahit saan magaling. Di ko sasabihin, bilhin mo ko nun. Di ko sasabihin. Cause I can on my own. I can on my own. I can on my own. I can buy my own rollie. You just gotta roll with me. Let me tell you something. Millionaire since I was young. It's not my parents' money, not even from the honey. Don't look at me funny. Matter of fact, I just broke up with a billionaire. Maiba, Grandma Chanel. Gotta slap a guy with it cause he told me what to wear. If your mama didn't, I'll teach you that it's rude to stare. Magsusuot ako ng shorts and shirt like I don't care. For real, still, di ako just. Para sa tulad ko, kailangan mo mag-adjust just. Cause once you're mine, let me remind. Or I'll leave you behind if you don't keep this on your mind. I'm not a side, not a main, but an only one. You're not DJ Khaled to be having another one. Try it once and you'll see me walking out in my Louis Vuitton. Cheerio, ciao, adios. Tabi, ako ay paparada. Tapos bababa ako ng nakaprada. Flaunting, baby. To show all I want from you is to be your baby. Tignan may chikot. At hindi mo malilimot. Mukhang mamahalin na yung mamahalin. biglang mahimatay. Bato wala niyang lapag, at kung ikaw ay papayag, ikaw na lang aking hapunan. Pagkasakali na lang palagi, pagkasakaling makuha kita sa tingin, pati sa lahin, ihip ng hangin, bigla nang mag-iba't ikaw na ang umahalin. Nagkaharap ng pahiwatig galing langit, gusto nang magparinig pero balaki ka mahiyain, mamahiyain, patagong sumisilip sa iyong gawain. Nagkaharap ng pahiwatig galing langit, gusto nang magparinig pero balaki ka mahiyain, mamahiyain. Kahit si Cupido'y pagod na rin sa akin, kamamaya sa ulo na ko niyan parahin. Hindi maamin aking damdamin, kahit isiping ikaw ay para sa'kin. Masaya pa rin naman kahit ganito, ako'y buo kahit labas ang tabi ko. Pero baka naman kahit konting konsente mo, gusto nang sakalin sarili kasi puro pagkasakali na lang palagi, pagkasakaling makuha kita sa tingin, bato sa langit, ihip ng hangin, bigla nang mag-iba't ikaw na ang umahalin. Nagkaharap ng pahiwatig galing langit, gusto nang magparinig pero balaki ka mahiyain, mamahiyain, patagong sumisilip sa iyong gawain. Nagkaharap ng pahiwatig galing langit, gusto nang magparinig pero balaki ka mahiyain, mamahiyain, patagong sumisilip sa iyong gawain. Nagkaharap ng pahiwatig galing langit, gusto nang magparinig pero balaki ka mahiyain, mamahiyain, patagong sumisilip sa iyong gawain. Nagkaharap ng pahiwatig galing langit, gusto nang magparinig pero balaki ka mahiyain, mamahiyain.
Okay, what up, Montreal? We are back, and if you are just catching us, this is Radyo Kapwa on 90.3 FM CKUT, where we broadcast nothing but the hottest interviews, news, and music from the Filipino ex-diaspora every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. My name is Fanny Cristo, and we are coming back from the musical break to let you know about some community announcements. So, grab something to write with or open your schedule app and mark your calendars. Okay, so there's two events for tomorrow, May 29. Our friends, the Refugee Center, invites refugees, asylum seekers, and community members with their families to participate in a free movie night. This event is a chance for families to come together and take a break from life's challenges. To sign up for this movie night, please go to their Instagram page at the Refugee Center and fill out the form in their bio. The film presented will be Les Indestructibles, presented in Spanish, English, and French. And then the next event that same day, Thursday, May 29, starting 7:30 p.m. at La Maison de la Culture. Festival Access Azi invites you on a journey through words during a bilingual literary evening, where 8 artists share their writing, often unpublished in multiple genres. Hosted by Kamala Mackerel and curated by Nyla Naufal, this evening is an opportunity to discover different imaginations and celebrate the plurality of these artists' literary expressions. For more info, you can visit their Instagram pages at Festival Access AZ, Kamala Mackerel, Nyla_Naufal, and Maison de la Culture _Janine Suto. And this next event is for those who are tired of missing out of what's happening in Côte-des-Neiges. Friday, May 31st, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Chalet Kent. Check this out. Introducing T.I.T.A dans la Hood, the new platform that tells you all about what's happening around Côte-des-Neiges. And this launch party will have vibes from local artists, barbecue, merch, a DJ, and we'll be celebrating this new platform that will be bringing you neighborhood news and info, the hottest events, community discussions and connections, and visibility for businesses. Join the family and stay in touch with what makes CDN tick by following their Instagram pages at T.I.T.A dans la Hood, Chalet Kent, and Philo_box. Now for the weekend, Saturday, June 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. at Metro Jean Talon, Positive Sex Ed will have snacks and chat together about a condition that affects sensitive parts of the body. It will happen at this workshop so those who wish to do so can cover themselves with a pink substance that is not part of a usual skincare skin routine. All in the name of knowledge, empowerment, and care of people's precious bodies. For more info, visit their Instagram page at positive.sexed. Same day, Saturday, June 1st, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Espace Rosary at Parc Jean Drapeau. Growing Arc Playdate sessions begin with a day of planting new seedlings at Parc Jean Drapeau. Find them behind the biosphere in the Espace Rosary and immerse in the culture of materials as they plant and play. Please join them with garden gloves if you have, and your small tools, your hat, and a water bottle. It's free to attend and family friendly. Lunch will be courtesy of Midnight Kitchen Collective. For more info, visit their Instagram pages at growing.arc, Midnight Kitchen Collective, and B-Bomb Botanics. Now, the next day, Sunday, June 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., join Native Montreal for an early launch of their June traditional workshops. Get ready for a special 3-part series on crafting your own jingle dress with amazing Kona Slays and Tashina Logan. Limited spots are available, so don't miss out. Secure your spot now by visiting their website at nativemontreal.com/en/culture. That same day, Sunday, June 2nd, from 12 to 1 p.m. at Café Camas, which is at 1372 Notre Dame West. Join Vibe Capture Magazine for Cameras and Coffee, the photo book edition, where you can connect with fellow photographers over a cup of coffee or tea and dive into the world of photo books. Bring your camera or device and your favorite photo book to this unique event and enjoy engaging conversations with other photographers. Share techniques, explore new works, and find creative inspiration at the one and only Café Camas, where you'll enjoy a cozy atmosphere, delicious drinks, and great music. As always, this event welcomes all levels of experience, and you can register by finding the link at cafe.camas. And that same day, Sunday, while it's proving to be a very busy day already, Sunday, June 2nd from 5 to 10 p.m., Play R&B, a certified lover vibe, is back for another season right on time for the summertime. Vibe Bender curated the perfect R&B day party for y'all, with a special guest, Honey Bun from Love Notes. Resident DJs Wacklex, La Skyway, and Kid Crayola will be at the rendezvous. Grab your tickets now while it's hot by checking out their Instagram page at Vibebenders and Hello Honey Bun. On the Monday, June 3, from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Shift Concordia. By the way, shouts to them for funding again this year to our Radyo Kapwa. Shift Concordia is hosting a very special event featuring K. Cheng Tom to launch their evaluation report and open up their space to discuss community, solidarity, and connectedness in social change. They have limited spots for this event, and registration is now open. For more details on how to sign up, you can visit their Instagram page at Shift Concordia. Now, the next day, Tuesday, June 4, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at CCLSCA, which is at 1700 Atatakin, Skate Space is having an in-between open jams open to all level of practices. Come keep your skating skills sharp before the beginning of next session, which is at June 11, and enjoy friendship indoors with music, jam masters, smooth floor, and AC. All levels are welcome, from beginner to advanced. To register, you can visit their Instagram page at skatespace.ca and Cosmic Skater. Now, that Saturday, June 8, from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m., our friends, the Filipinos of Montreal, and Festival Viet MTL, Sticky Rice Magazine, and Super Bowl people will be taking over La Rue Culturelle for Destination Asie at Olympic Park. There will be Sari Sari Day programming to celebrate Filipino Heritage Month. Be on the lookout for their lineup by visiting their Instagram page at Filipinos of Montreal and Terry Reyes. And that's it, c'est tout, for this edition of the Community Announcements. It's a lot going on, so hopefully everybody listening found something that they feelin'. I think I'm gonna be at that Chalet Kent event and the R&B Day party. RK always got love for our fellow Kapwa DJ Honey Bun, you know? Also, shouts to the Filipinos of Montreal. Y'all already know it's mad love between our orgs. Alright, we're running out of time, so I gotta close this out. Once again, y'all been listening to Radio Kapwa on 90.3 FM CKUT. Catch us again next Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. And to the amazing people of Montreal, I gotta say peace. Fenny Cristo signing out.